Hello everybody. We're going to take a look at Unit 5.1b at WAMAP. And this is the problem with multi-step conversion. Okay, we're being asked to convert 2.75 miles into yards. So when there's a conversion involved, WAMAP has a formula sheet you can use. So you've got these tabs here. Click on this last one, which has the GED formula sheet as well as WAMAP formula sheets. So we have conversion factors here, and this problem we're going to do multi-step conversion, and that's because we know how many miles are in, how many feet are in a mile, and we know how many yards are in a foot, but we don't have a direct way to go from miles to yards. So we're going to use two of these. So we have this conversion factor here. 12 inches is equal to 1 foot, 3 feet is 1 yard, 1 mile is 5,280 feet. Okay, so these are basically 12 inches is equal to 1 foot, so we can use that to convert to either inches or feet by writing it as a fraction. Let's see, I've got the problem written out on my tablet. Let's take a look at the tablet. So we're converting 2.75 miles to yards. And from the conversion factor page, we got 1 mile is equal to 5,280 feet. These two terms are equal to each other, so we can stack them like fractions. And it's basically, we're going to be multiplying whatever this is by the equivalent of 1. So it won't change the value, but it will change the units, okay? And because these can be stacked either way, we can have the mile on top or feet on top. What we want to look for is when we multiply by this unit, 2.75 miles, we're going to want to get rid of the miles unit, and it's going to be replaced by feet. So when we set up our formula, we're going to have 2.75 miles times 5,280 feet over 1 mile, and this way the miles will cancel out. And then in the next step, we find that 3 feet is equal to 1 yard. So we can write this either as our conversion factor can be either 3 feet over 1 yard or 1 yard over 3 feet. Those are equivalent. And what we do is we choose which factor we want removed. And because if you've got one, like feet in the numerator and feet in the denominator, those units will go away. So we're setting this up so that miles cancel out miles and feet cancel out feet. And then we treat this like we're multiplying fractions, and whatever we have for our answer will be in yards because this is the one unit that survives the cancellation. So let's see if we can get a different color. All right, we're going to use red for canceling. So I've got it written out here. Just use those numbers right off of the conversion table. And so we're going to, these miles are going to cancel out these miles, and these feet will cancel out these feet. And this is because when you multiply fractions, you can cancel out units that are the same from the numerator and denominator. So we're going to multiply 2.75 times 5,280 times 1 yard, and hang on to this yard unit, right? And then we've got 1 times 3 in the denominator. So let's go ahead and do the denominator first. We're going to get 3 on the bottom. And then get your calculator, because you can use a calculator for unit 5. Turn it on and clear it. And don't forget to turn it on if you're using a GED calculator. It's not a bad idea to use one. If you are taking the GED, you will get an on-screen equivalent of this calculator. So it's good to know how to use it pretty well. 2.75 times 5,280 times 1. Well, that's going to be itself. So 2.75 times 5,280 gives us 14,520. And then we are just going to divide that by 3. So you can just hit the division button and 3 if you're using your GED calculator, and you will get 4,840 yards. So that's going to be our answer. And when we set up these conversions, just you can just write out the conversion equivalents here, and then you're going to write the whole thing out as multiplication of fractions, the product of several fractions. And as long as you have your the units canceling each other out, you'll wind up with, this is how you set it up, you'll wind up with the answer in the correct units, okay? And so at the top, they're asking us to figure out how many yards is 2.75 miles. So we got our conversion factors. We needed to use 2 because we didn't have one that was direct into yards. And we multiplied 2.75 times the number of feet per mile times the number of yards, number of feet in a yard. And then we got for our answer 4,840 yards. So that would be the answer we put in at WAMAP. Let's go ahead and give that a try. And this one is pretty straightforward. The entry, just 4840. And hit enter, hope for a green check, and there it is. Okay, so give this a try. You can try a different type of problem. If you run into trouble, click that message instructor button and I'll try to get to you within 24 hours with some help. All right, good luck.